Assalamualaikum. My name is Asraf bin SHAMSUDIN, and my supervisor is Dr. KHAIRUM bin HAMZAH, and my co-supervisor is Dr. FARIZAH binti WAHAB. Today I want to present about my PSM project, which is titled is Research on Effect Process Using Laser Cut and CNC Rotor on Plywood Sandwich Laminate. And this is my outline. For introduction, we cover 4: background, problem statement, objective, and scope of work. For literature review, laser cut machine parameter, CNC machine parameter, plywood material, and woven glass 300 GSM. For methodology, we cover about process flowchart, experimental preparation, experiment setup, and testing operation. Result and discussion, and last, conclusion and recommendation. So this is our background, my background for my project. For material that used for laser cut SSC rotor usually use ceramic, composite, plastic, metal, and wood material. And for industries, aerospace, power general sector, and several industries. For laser cut and SSC rotor properties, the properties is cut applied to a variety of material and high power density and precision. Consistency of the cut surface resulting and high machining versatility and high flexibility. This is my problem statement. Problem statement that I have for this project is the composite material usually had and major issues through cutting performance effect of material through cutting process. Variety level of parameter affected the natural material. Effectiveness of two different process on natural material. This is my objective. For my objectives is to fabricate plywood sandwich laminate by using vacuum bagging process. To perform two different process for cutting plywood sandwich laminate into testing specimen. And last, my objective is to investigate the mechanical properties and the quality of surface roughness of the experiment material by using tensile testing, surface roughness, and microscope. For scope of work, first, I will fabricate sample plywood sandwich laminate composite by using vacuum bagging process. Study previous input parameter for every each cutting process, and then performing cutting process with two different methods, which is laser cut machine and the CNC rotor machine. And after the experiments were performing, we will perform a testing to analyze the result from two different cutting process. This is my literature review for laser cut. The table shows about my previous study on journal HAMZAH on 2018, the previous parameter in the journal. So it could be said that the analysis involved the process are approximately 25% effective on the surface roughness of the material cutting direction, and feed speed are the most significant factor. For CNC rotor, this is a parameter. This will show that now the parameter that has been chosen significantly improve the quality characteristics. Material that I use for this project is plywood. This is the mechanical properties. For the first and the last layer is woven roving 300 GSM. This is the mechanical properties. This is my process flowchart for the project. First, we prepare the material, woven roving, plywood, sandwich laminate, and as the MATRIC is epoxy and hardener. So the process we use to fabricate is vacuum baking process, and then for curing, if the sample is good, we can proceed for the experiment cutting process with a two different process, that is laser cut machine, CNC rotor machine. After performing the two process, we will do a testing process, which is mechanical testing, tensile testing, surface roughness testing, and image software by Nikon Eclipse level 100. And then we will analyze the result. This is my design. I have two two kind of design. That is for first is for material sample, and second is material specimen for tensile testing. So for experiment preparation, the material that we use, woven glass, plywood, and resin hardener. For plywood, we have three type of thickness, that is 3 mm, 5 mm, and 9 mm. So there will be a three type of simple for thickness. For experiment preparation, first we will fabricate with hand layup, and then we will use a vacuum bagging process and curing, and then the result of the fabricate process is this sample, which is 3 mm, 5 mm, and 9 mm. This is I call plywood sandwich laminate composite. So this is my preparation for parameter input parameter, that is which is feed rate for laser cut and CNC rotor. So for the laser cut, the feed rate that will change is, for the first level is 2000, 2500, and 3070, 50. For CNC rotor, 100, second 200, and third 300. So this is my experiment setup. So the first process we use is laser cut to get the result. So for the second process is CNC rotor machine. So we can see in my result from the cutting process, this one is from the CNC rotor, and this one is from the laser cut process. So for result and discussion, so we have performing the tensile testing. So we get two types of properties, which is tensile strength and elongation. So when we observe the tensile graph, we can see that 3 mm tensile strength is more than higher than 5 mm and 9 mm. So we have issue while we running the testing. The 9 mm have an slip issues because of the mechanical properties itself from the material. For elongation, the highest elongation for three type of thickness is 5 mm. Why 5 mm is more higher than 3 mm? Because when the tensile, the fiber of the material is still there, so that the material not have a fracture. So yeah. So this is my analyze for surface roughness machine. We using I use ANOVA. So I observe based on the p value. They have three type of parameter, which is A, B, C. A is 2000, B is 2500, C is 3700. This picture is the image we capture by microscope. So from this analyze, you can see that all the parameter that we have choose is suitable for this cutting process. So this is ANOVA for CNC rotor. So from these three type of thickness, we observe the 3 mm have an value p value below than 0.05. So that means is the cutting process is rejected the value. So CNC rotor should be not good for cutting process the composite material. So this is my conclusion and recommendation. The next after the purification process is, for my conclusion and recommendation, the next process after the fabrication process is cutting process with two different machine, which is laser cut and CNC rotor machine. Comparison by these two process will be analyzed with a surface roughness testing and image capture. The aim of this study is to investigate the effect of plywood sandwich laminate composite with two different cutting processes using a surface runner machine and image capture using Bintican eclipse microscope. Result from the surface runner data will be analyzed by using ANOVA method. This method can easily analyze by p-value in every result of different input parameter, which is feed rate. For the image capture method, image that captured from a microscope need to be clear to ensure the result of the surface is precise and make an analysis easier. Image of the specimen scale were selected across the section of the specimen surface. From the research that have been done, for this plywood sandwich laminate composite laser cut machine show that it has a better result than the CNC rotor. This is because the machine structure were more advanced than CNC rotor. For recommendation, even though analysis was carried out as expected and has achieved all the objectives, some modification can still be made of the experiment more effectively in the future. There are several recommendations for any further improvement in the various aspects of future work. So first, for the recommendation is study of the composition of the sandwich laminate composite to get a better result and material performing. Second is add an extra testing method like a density testing to analyze more mechanical properties for plywood sandwich laminate composite. Thank you, that's all from me.